Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying with my video. This video is also from a Python playlist, and in this video we'll understand the file read and write operation. So without file read and write operation, your Python code is incomplete. Whenever you create a real world project, you may need to create some file and write some content on that, or maybe read some content from the existing file, write some content to the JSON file, or read from the JSON file. So these are the operation are very much important, so that we are going to understand in this video. At the end of this video, you will be very familiar to create any new file and write some content into that, read the content from the existing file, or write something into the existing file using the append, write image or read the image, a copy image from one place to another place, read and write data into the JSON file. So let's get started. Let me share my screen and then we'll understand each and every components, each and every operation of file one by one. Perfect. So what I will do, I will create one new file. So this file name will be file operation.py. So in this video, we are going to write the code into .py file instead of ipynb file. So we are not going to create any notebook. We will create .py file, and in that we are going to write all the whatever is required to understand this file operation. So very first example is that example number 1, create txt file and write something. So we need to do that part. So we have to create one txt file and we have to write something into that. So how we'll do that? So let's say we'll take a file name equal to content.txt. Perfect. And then over here we'll write with open, and this file name I'll paste over here, comma, then w means we are going to write something into that as a f. I'm taking alias over here, and f dot write, and I'm writing over here, hello, I am learning file read and write operation. Perfect. After that, we will just close the file, f dot close. That's all, guys. So what I have done, I have created one file name that is content.txt. Okay. Then I'm taking the with clause. With that, I am opening the file into the write mode. So with open file name means it means that this content.txt going to open in the write mode. I'm taking this complete code. I'm taking as a alias as a f. Okay. Then means my file will be open and the alias is f. F is nothing but you consider as a variable over here, right? Then f dot write, and under the write I'm passing these string to write into my file, and then I'm closing over here. So my file will open, and that input output operation will save into f, and using the f dot write I'm writing these string into that, and at the end I'm closing that. So now let's try to run this code. So for that, what I'll do, I will take the terminal over here, and then I will try to run over here this code. I'll write Python and then file operation dot py. Okay. Once I have completed this run, you will see that content.txt has been created over here, and you will find this content over here. Hello, I am learning file read and write operation. So this is how you can create any new file and you can write whatever you want. Next example, let's say, let me comment this line. Now, next example is I want to create one folder, and into that I want to write something. So create content.txt in the folder, in same directory, in same dir. It means that if you see over here, this content.txt has directly created into the root folder, right? That is, this is the root folder. But in the next code, what I want, that I want to create one folder over here. Under the folder, I want to create this content.txt. Under that, there should be some data. This is how we need to write this code. So what I'll do, over here, I will take, let's say, import OS. Import OS means import the operating system. This is the module we are calling from the Python global module. Okay. Then from path lib import path. So I'm again importing one more path module from the path lib. This path module will help us to create the path for the folder. So now just follow the code, you will understand what is going to happen. So now I'll write over here dir name, means directory name. As a, let's say I'm taking data. Okay. And this should be under the inverted comma. And then file name. File name equal to, again same, I'm taking content, or let's say I'm taking some different name of this file. Let's say I'm taking some log.txt. This is the name of my file. So I need to create the complete path of the file. So how should be the path? Path should be, let's say, data and slash a log.txt. So this is the path I want to create. To create this path, what I'll do, that I will write over here file path equal to this path. I will take this path. This is the basically a module, or you can say function, which will help us to create the path. So I'll write over here data, and or maybe this not data, this one dir name, and then this file name over here. Okay. And if you want to understand how this path is going to create the path, then just print this, print file path. Okay. Now this will create the path of the file, but this data folder is not available in the current directory, or you can say root directory. So first we need to create the data folder. So for that, what I'll write over here, os.mk dirs means make the directory, and over here I will write dir name. Perfect. Dir name comma exist. Okay, equal to true. It means that if it is exist, then leave it is. Okay, if it is not exist, then create. Exist. Okay, equal to true. Now what I'll do, I write with open, and over here I will pass this file path, comma, and I want to write, perfect, as a f, and then over here f dot write. This is the second file under the data folder. Okay. Or if you want, what I'll do, that I will take this text from here and I will create the text over here. Okay. This is what I have, and I just pass this variable directly to this. Perfect. And then f dot close. That's all, guys. Now let's try to run this code. So again, Python file operation.py, in the terminal you have to run. See over here. So this file path, I have given the print statement. So data.log, this is how it is going to create the path. Now, if you see under this root directory, we have one data folder. Under the data folder, we have log.txt. Under this, we have this text available over here. So this is how you can create a file using the write w operation under the same directory or in desired folder under the same root directory. Now, next code we will understand. Example 3, create a file in download folder. Perfect. In the download folder, I need to create the one folder that will be data, and create file in download folder, download slash data folder, and write some content. Perfect. So what is saying that you need to create one file into the download slash data folder and write some content into that. So I need to create one data folder under the download directory, and over there I need to create one txt file. So this is how it should be. So now how we can perform this task. So we know that we right now we are in the root directory. So we need to give the instruction to my Python code that it should redirect my file path to the download. So how we can do that? So I'll write over here download dir equal to path, this path dot home. No, it should be path dot home, and over here slash downloads. Perfect. This should be with the capital D and under the inverted comma. Okay. So now if you want to see how this going to be your download directory, because see, download directory is always under the C path, C slash user slash downloads, right? So instead of writing the complete path, we don't know that what is the username or where it is living the C directory or not. So path dot home will redirect to your root directory, means C user directory. After that we are passing downloads, means you will get the complete path to reach to the download directory. So if you want to see that how is going to be, I have given the print statement for this download dir. So this download dir will have the complete path of my download directory. Okay, after that I want to create one folder into that, right? So folder name equal to data, okay, and then file name, file name equal to, let's say I will write over here test.txt, I have written. Now I need to make the complete path of the file. So over here file path equal to I'll write path. Inside that you just pass this download dir comma folder name comma and this file name. Perfect. So this is going to give you the file path. If you want, let's print this. F string file path is nothing but this file path. All good, guys? Going well? Now we have reached to the file path, but this folder name is not available under the download. So we need to create this folder as well. So for that, what we'll do over here, create folder data inside the download directory, downloads directory. So for this os dot make dirs, make dirs, and over here file path, or you can, instead of file path, you just pass this folder name over here, okay, comma, and you must pass this exist equal to exist okay equal to true. So if that is existing, it will not create that. Okay, all good. Now we need to write the content, or let's say text equal to, this is the whole line or third file created in download dir. Okay, this is how the text should be. Now with open, and over here you just pass the this file path, comma w means we are going to write. So we are opening this file for the write. Then f dot write, and over here you just pass this text. Okay, and then f dot close. All good. So first what I will do, I will just close this, not this one. From this is the complete example number 3. So I'll comment out the example number 2. Otherwise it will rerun again. Okay. So I don't want this. So I will comment out this. So what is the shortcut for this? A shortcut is control and slash. I'll write over here. Control CTRL, control plus this slash, forward slash. So this is used to comment out the code. Perfect. So you can use this one to comment out the code altogether. Now, so this path, why it is giving some error over here? Maybe I have imported the path. Okay, I should not comment out this one. So I need to make this available. That's why, otherwise it will give the error over here. So how we can do? We need to decomment this. So again, control and forward slash. Perfect. Now let's try to run this code. So what I'll do, I will just write over here Python file operation.py. See, so this one, if you will see over here, download dir, this is how the path is. C users Prashant Prash download. So basically this path home bringing all the path before the downloads it should be. To complete, make this path complete from your C users C slash user slash Prashant slash downloads, this path dot home, making this complete. So let me copy this first. I am copying this over here. So this one I have written, right? So this part which is from here to here, it is coming from the path dot home, because sometimes user don't know. I'm a user, I don't know that what will be the complete path to reach the downloads dir. So it better that call your path module, and path dot home will make this your complete home direct path, and then you can append your downloads over here. Okay, and maybe documents or desktop, whatever you want. So it is clear, guys, right? And after that, if you see one more print I have given over here, file path. So this file path is this one, which is, let me write down over here. I'm not over here, it should be over here. So after the downloads, it is creating data. If you see that data and then test.txt. So this path is completing the path of this file, that is text.txt. Perfect. And after that, I am making the folder. This data folder is not available. So if you not make the folder and if you directly perform this write operation, it will give the error. It is important that we must create the folder if it is not available, and then perform the operation of write, or read means data will be already available. So whenever you do write operation, in that case you have to create the folder. So now this is we have already executed this code and I think it is completed. So now let's go to the download folder under the downloads data and just check this text.txt. Okay, so just go to your download folder, and over here there is a data. Click on this, and then there is a test over here. Test or txt, which one should be? There's a two folder, right? Two files, but there should not be two files. Let me delete this. Maybe this folder was existing before, and in that it is creating the file. So what I'll do, I'll just create this, delete this. After deleting, I will again run this. There is some issue over here. No such file or directory. Okay, if it is not, then it should create. There is a problem, guys. I am getting some error over here. Before, actually the data folder was available, it has not thrown any error, but I think there is some error. Now I have deleted that data folder, right? So after that, once I try to execute this code, it is throwing some error. So let me see what is the error over here. It is showing that no such file or directory. So I think it is not able to create the, yeah, it is not able to create the folder over here. So I'm just giving the folder name. I am not giving the path. I need to give the path also from here till here. Then only it will going to create the folder inside that download. So what I'll do, I'll just take this file path dot parent. If you want to see what is the meaning of file path dot parent, let's try to print over here. Print f string file path parent. Just passed over here this file path parent. So if you want me to tell before executing this code, so it will basically going to create the data folder under this path. So this file path parent, it will give this path actually from here to here. So let's try to execute now. So what I'll do, I'll just clear this. Now a Python file operation.py. See, file path parent, it is going to give the path from the C directory to data, right? As I told you that. See, from C to data is going to give, and then it is going to create this data directory over there, means folder over there, and then under the this folder, this test.txt file is going to create, and then this content will get written into that. So now let's try to see. So we have this data. Under this, we have a test file. And if you open this, you have a one content over here. This is the third line created in download dir. Perfect. Now close this. So till now you have understood how you can create a file under the root directory in the current folder. In the current folder, create a new folder and then create the file. So you also understand in the root directory how to create the folder, under the folder how to create the file, and any other remote directory how to create the folder and create the file. So all these three scenario we have captured. Now let's go to the next example. Example number 4. Example number 4, that in the existing file we are going to perform some of the write operation again using the W. W means write, correct? So now perform write operation in existing or existing file. So how we can perform that? So we need the file path directory. If the that file is already available, so no need to create the new file or path for that. So we just take the path of that file. So how we can take the path of that file? We know from this code that where is the path, but what I'll do, I'll go to the my download directory, and from here I have this file. So right click and there is a copy as a path. Take it from here and then come to your code, and over here just pass this. Okay, it will give some error, so you better to use the R over here or forward slash. So instead of that, I prefer to write over here R. Why? Because this backward slash sometime Python code is not able to understand. So that's why we need the forward slash, or you just use the R over here. Okay. Perfect. So before writing the next code, what I'll do, I will comment out this code. Example 3. So let's take till here example before the example 4 and comment out. How will you comment out? Control and forward slash. Perfect. Now let's come over here, and I have the text over here. This is the second line in the same file of download. Perfect. Now with open and take this file path from here and comma, we need to open this in write mode. So that's why I've written write over here as a F, and it's not mandatory you always use F over here. You can take, let's say, file also. Okay, and file dot write, and I will pass this text over here. Perfect. Now file dot close. I will close this file. Now let's try to run this code. There is some issue over here. What is the no such directory available? There should be, right? There is the error over here, guys. Error. Let me see what is the error. File path is there. All good. I have taken this file path correctly. I have used the R also. No such file or directory. Test.txt. Let me see, it is available, right? It is available. Test.txt. Yeah, it is there. Print the file path first. Print the file path. So whenever you have some issue in your code, always try to check where it is breaking. So I want to see that what this file path is returning. So I'm using the print function so that this variable get printed in my terminal. Okay. Now Control S to save that and then run this. So if you see, it is giving you the right path. Or let me copy the path again. Maybe there's some mistake in the path. Open data. So this is what I have. Then copy as a path. Okay. And then paste it over here first. Perfect. Now use the R over here. So now it should work, guys. I have copied the path again. Okay. So let's clear. It's done. See, it is giving the right path and it is not throwing the error. So now let's try to check the file. So let's go to the file. And if you see over here, we have, this is the second line in the same file of download. Before that, we had some other text also, right? If you see in the first example number 3, we have written one text over here, which is this one. This is the third file created in the download dir. After that I'm writing again this line of text in the same existing file. But what happened is that the second example, which is second text, which is this one, this is the second line in the same file of download, has override the first one. So why this happened? So this is the nature of your W, means write. Whenever you have some existing file and there's some text into that, and if you perform the write operation on existing file, so it is going to override the existing file. It means that it will delete the earlier text and it will create the, or you can say that it will write the new text, whatever you are passing under the execution. So now the question is that if we have already one file in that there are some existing files are there, existing texts are there, and I want to add some more text, then how we should perform and how we should do that, right? So in such scenario, we have to use the append operation, not a write operation. And in write operation, there is a one more, that if you, let's say, pass multiple text, that will perform. You will be able to write multiple text under the same operation. But if, let's say, one operation is completed, you have one file, in that file you have certain text, and after that you are again performing the what? You are again performing the write operation. So what it will do, basically, it will override the existing text and it will create the new one, which happened right now. So we have already created this, correct? This text we have created, and after that in the same file I'm opening and writing this text. So this text has override the earlier one. So now another one, what I'll do, I will take the text2 equal to, this is the, let's say, third line in same file under same write operation. So what I'll do, this is the file dot write will write the text into that first text, and again I write over here file dot write, and over here this text2. Okay, so first is the text and then text2, both will write in in the existing file. So now let's see what happened. Now let's first clear this, okay, and then just try to execute this. Now let's go to the file and open this. If you see that it has created two different text over here. So this is the first one, right? This is the first one and this one is the second one, but it is in the same line. I want into different line now. So how it will be? Let's first close this file. Don't save. This is also don't save. Okay. Now close this. What I will do over here is plus and forward slash, so backward slash and n. It will create the new line, and in the new line, this text 2 will get added. Now perform this. Python file operation.py. Now go to this text folder file, and you will see that this is the first line and this is the second line. Okay. So what you have understood from that, if you are performing the write operation into the existing file, and in the same operation, if you perform 2 or 3 different line of text, it will be get added. But if there is some already existing text are there, and on top of that, if you perform the write operation, it is going to overwrite. Perfect. So now let's see the append operation, how we can perform the append operation on top of this. So what I want, that I want to add some text, and whatever I have written into that, it should also not get deleted. I want to perform add some new text over here, but this should not get deleted. So for that, how and what we can do. So let's try to understand that part over here. So let me comment out first this. Okay, now example, which example it is? Example number 5. Perform append operation into the existing file. Okay. So file path I already having over here. I have not commented out that. So now let's take some text over here. So now let's say that I have this text over here and I want to append this text. So what I'll do, I'll just write over here with open and just pass over here file path comma a. A means append as a f, and over here f dot write, and I will pass into this text. Then f dot close. Perfect. So now let's try to execute this. So I'll write over here file a Python file operation.py. Done. Now let's go to the file and open that. So you will see that this is same file artificial. It is added over here, but it is adding not in the next line, but it has added in the same line, and there is no space over here. So what I'll do, that I will going to write over here. Let's try to execute this first. First try to execute this part. Comment out this. Let's execute both together. First this will get executed and then this one is going to execute it, because I have commented out this part. Now let's go to the file. So you will see this is the second line and third line is starting from the next line of second. Okay. So this is how you can perform the append operation to not override the existing text. Perfect. I don't think so there should be any problem. You understand what is file path, what is a means append, and text means we are passing this text over here, and then after that we are closing this. So all good, guys, right? So now I'll comment out this. Similarly, I will comment out this as well, including the file path. Now let's see the next example. So next example is 6, right? We have example 6. In that we have one list of sentences. Okay, so in the one list we have a multiple sentence available, and I want to rewrite, it means append or create a new file to add this text into that. So what I will do, I will create one new file path, or let's consider the file which we have already created. So I will copy the file path from here, which I already am having in the download directory. Perfect. So I will copy and paste over here. And after that, I want to write these text, these sentences, whatever is available over here in the list in the available txt file. So what I will do, I will write over here, as you know, with open, and over here it should be a file path. So I'll pass this file path directly over here. Then there's a two-way. One is the write, I should use the W, or one is the append, I should use A. So if I use A, it means that it will keep the existing data and it will append the new data into that. These data will get appended into that file. Perfect. But if I use W, means it will delete all existing data in the current file, and it will add these text into that. So what do you prefer that? Let's W, we already I think A, append, we already saw, right, how A works. So again, after A, I'm going to use the W, means write operation with the list of string. Okay, so I will pass over here W. Okay, and as a F, all good. Then F dot write, and just pass over here this lines. So if I pass this list of txt, or let's say list of sentences, is going to work or it will give the error, because we are passing the complete list. So it's going to work or it will going to give the error? That is the question, right? Let's try first. Let's try. If you are saying that it is going to give the error, means you know file read and write operation, you are very much familiar. That's a very good answer. But if you say that is going to execute and not throwing any error, it means that still you have a time to learn file read and write operation. Okay, so I will directly pass the list into the write. Let's see that intentionally I want to create the error, or let's see how, if not error, how is going to add these sentences into the my existing files. And it is, guys, write means it is going to overwrite all the available data we have in our txt file. So right now, if you see, we have these are the data available, right? But as soon as I like execute, it will delete all this data, and the current data which I'm having on the list is going to append. I mean, is going to write over, not append. Okay, now let's execute this. So I'll write over here, let's say Python, and file name is file operation dot py. Perfect. There is some error, guys, right? And what is the error? Let's try to see the error. Line number 93. Line number 93 having an error, and is saying that f dot lines argument must be str not list. It's showing that write operation argument must be str not list. So I have passed over here what? I have passed over here what? List, but it write method is expecting argument as a string. So this is giving me the error. So how we can solve this? So for that, we need to iterate our, let me first minimize this. Yeah, we need to iterate our list to get the string. So what I'll do over here, for line in lines, I will take this lines over here. Perfect. Once you iterate, what you're going to get, if you want to know that, let's print that. Print line also. So once you print this, you will get in console all the result what is going to get after iterating our lines string, sorry, list. Okay, then over here I'm going to write f dot write this line, not lines, and once the loop is completed, then close the file. So now let's execute this again. Let me clear this first. Now execute the file. This is the first line, second line, third line, and this is coming from your print function over here, 94. So this is the first line. As soon as your list is iterating through using the for loop, your line is getting each and every sentence one by one. So first it is getting this one, so this is the first line, then second is the second one, and third is the third line, right? And after that it is going to write into the file. So now let's see what are the content we have in the given file. So let's take this. So we have, this is the first line, and this is the second line, this is the third line. We have all over here, but all are into the same line, not in the three different lines. So how to make this in three different lines? What we need to do for that? So what I'll do, I will just adjust this little. I will try to add plus and backward slash with n. It means after writing the first line, cursor will go to the next line to write the this second line, and after completing the second line, cursor will go to the third line to write the third line. This is the meaning of this. Means bring the cursor to the bottom after completing the first line. Okay, now let's try to execute again. Now go to the file and you will see that first line, second line, third line. Perfect. So this is how you can use the list string to write into the file. I hope it's clear, guys. Now let's see the next example, that is example number 7, right? Example number 7. Now see the read operation, write operation and append operation we have understand. It means that whenever we need to create any file and add some content into that, we use the write operation and append operation to write in the existing file without deleting any existing data. Now we'll understand if we already have any file, how to read the data out of that. Okay, so read operation we are going to see into this. So first let me comment these lines so it will be easy to execute. So for read operation, it is important that file with content exists. So if you don't have a file and the content, you cannot read it, right? So it is important that you should have a book, and in the book there should be some paragraph, then only you can read what is the mention or written in that book. So similarly, I will going to read the file which is at this location. Okay, so what I'll do, with open, and over here file path, and this time I'm going to use R means read the line all at a time, and after that F, it should be as F, right? Sorry, I did a mistake. As a F, and here F dot read, and just pass over here. I don't think so need to pass anything, just let it be this, and F dot close. That's all. Now let's try to execute this. If we find some error, then we will see. So let's see the next example, example number 7, right? We have seen till 6, and this will be the example 7. In example 7, we will understand the read operation, because write and append, we have already understood that if we need to write something first time, then we'll create the file and then we write the content into that. But whenever we want to rewrite a file where I want my existing file, existing content should be available, then we use the append into that. If we rewrite a file with the write operation, then it's going to override the existing content. We understand this part, right? In simple meaning, write always create a new content into the file, and if it is older, it will delete. And append always append into the existing file. So now we'll use the read operation to read out the content from the available files. So it only possible when you have the content and file available. If you don't, let's say example, if you don't have a book and paragraph is mentioned in the book, then how is going to read that, right? So it is important that you must have a file, and in the file there should be a content. So for the read, file must be available, and content must be available. Perfect. So now for that, I will use the same file path which I'm already having. So what I'll do, I'll take the this file path, I'll copy this. Perfect. And I will write over here with open. First we need to open the file. So with file path, okay, comma, and over here r means we are going to read the file as f, and over here f dot read. There is a C, read line, read lines, and there is a read. So first we'll see the read, okay, and after reading this, I'll just use the print function to directly get the data into your console. Okay, so now let me clear this first. Okay, so all the files content is available over here in the console. So if you use the read function, it is going to read all the data from the file at a time. Perfect. Now maybe you find there is only 3 lines, so it's very easily is going to read that. So what I'll do, that before that, let's execute one code to append some of the files more into that. So I will use this, I will rerun this file again, this one. Okay, so there will be some more content, so it will be easy to understand that. File path, where is the file path is coming from? There is a file path. Let's take this file path and add over here. Okay, what I'm doing, guys, if you are confused, I want to tell you that I want to add more content. To add more content, I'm using the append operation, and all this text I want to add into the existing file. So basically example number 5 I want to rerun again. Okay, so let's execute this. So how is going to do that? Let's first comment out this, because you will get unnecessarily confused. So I just want to comment out this part, and I want to again again run this so that you have enough content over here. Let's go to this. You have the enough content available over here. Perfect. Now we'll perform the read operation again. So I'll go back to the 5th example, and I will comment out this again, and over here I will decomment this. Perfect. Now let's try to read this as well. And now let's clear this first. After clearing this, now let's execute the file. So what is happening over here? We are passing the file path. This file path is the same file which is available over here in this test.txt. Okay. After that, we are using as usual with open file path, and r means read operation as f, and f dot read. I'm just printing that. So it is going to read all the data at a time. The other way to write this, what we can do, that we can use over here content equal to, I want to save this all data into one variable, and after that I want to close this first file. I want to close and later on I want to print my content as well. So let's take this content over here. Now execute this first, clear this to not have any confusion, and then read that. So same output we are getting, but this time we have all the data available in my content variable. Perfect. Now, so we have understand the read operation. Under the read, we have multiple method. One is a read line, and read lines. So this is the example of read. Now we'll see read line, read lines, not lines. Okay. So for this, what I will do, I will copy the same code here, and I will comment out this part. This is the example, this is the example of 7 only, guys. So this is under the example 7, we have a read, we have a read lines and a read lines and read line. Okay, so I'll comment out this part, and then let's before executing this, let's make this read lines, not line, read lines. Okay, perfect. So read lines will read all the data and make one list, I guess. Let me try this. Okay, I think it's going to make one list. So now execute this first, clear, and then execute the file. So see over here, this one is a now what, this is nothing but a list. So if you check also print type of your content, you will see that it will be a list. See, class int list, sorry, class list it is. So read lines read all the data from the given file at a time and keep that into one list. Clear? So, and you will say that then what read works, read the data and it save as a string only. You want to see that? So let's comment this and comment out this. And over here you have the file into the all the data into your content, and now check the type of your content as well. So type of content, all good. Now let's execute this, and you will see that the class of your content is str. Perfect. So read all that data at a time, and the class of that variable is string. But if you want to keep your data as a list, you can use the read lines s at the end. Okay, perfect, guys. Let's comment out this as well, comment this, and let's go to the next part, that is read line. In read line, what we are going to do that first, let me make this some star marks over here, so it will be easy to understand. This is not the part of code, this is the uh, actual code, is not actual code, we just writing some comment over here. Okay, so also, so now we have a read line. In the read line, I will copy the same code from here to here, and let's take the type also, and let's paste over here and just make the code, and over here just write the read line. So read line, read line, read single line at a time. It is going to read single line at a time. So now let's run this code and let's see that. So what I'm doing over here, I'm just taking the path and saving into the path variable, then send with open file path and under the read operation as f, then f dot read line, not lines, line, line. Okay, I'm saving into the content, and f dot close means I'm closing the file after reading, and then print the content and also type of content, means what is the type of this content. Okay, all good. So first let's clear this and then execute this. So this is the first line. See, again, if you execute, let's execute again. This is the first line. If you execute, this is the first line. So every time you are executing that, it is just reading the first line. So to read the complete data using the read line, how you can perform that? You need to use some kind of a loop over here, and under the loop, this process will keep on work until unless this read line does not read all the content or all the lines from the given file. So how we can make that? So over here we are going to use the loop. So now the question is, we have a two loop, while loop and for loop. So which loop we are going to use over here? Well, we don't know the length of the loop. Let's say it's not list, right? We don't know that how much I need to iterate that. So we cannot use the for loop. So we have to use the while loop over here. So I'll write over here while, and it's a true. So this while loop will be true until and unless there is what file inside, there is a data inside that. So I'll write over here, if my content is empty, if there is a no content in the variable, then the loop should stop. It means that this f dot read line has read all the lines from the given text file. Okay, once it read all that data from the given text file, then after that there will be no data available into this content, right? So what I'll do over here, I'm going to write if not content, means if your content is empty, that time you are going to break the loop, read the content and content type both. Perfect, guys. This is how it's going to work. So now you will see that is a correct code or there is some mistake over here. So let's try to understand by executing this first. You are having a str at the end, but there is no content available over here. Why? What is happening? So let's try to execute. This is a bit complex, so I will try to explain this using the pen. So over here, if you see, you are very familiar with this part, right? This is the file path. Then over here with open, I am opening the file under the read operation and taking the alias as a f. Then while true means this loop will be continue until and unless this loop is true. For that I'm using the true over here. So if I'll not use break over here, this loop will execute infinite times. And why I have used the break over here? Because I want to stop the loop. When I want to stop the loop, when there is no data available to read. So under the while loop, we have a true. Perfect. And after that, when it is true, it will come to the next line of code over here. F dot read line will read always a single line. So let's say that I have one file over here. Line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4, line number 5. Just an example. So after opening the file under the read operation, it will come to the while loop and it is true. So it will come to the next line over here, f dot read line. So this operation f dot read line will read one line. So it will read, let's say this line. It will read this line. After reading this, it will come to this line if not content, but content is available, right? Because after reading this, it will going to save under this variable. So and if it is under this variable, it means that we have the file. So we have the file means we have the data. So it will not going to execute this line. Sorry, this line will execute because it will check that data is available or not. So it will execute this line and it will return false. Is going to return false. So after once it is returned false, it will not go to this line. And from here, it will again go back where it will go back to your while loop. And again, it is true. So again, it will going to read the second line. After reading the second line, the data will be saved into your this variable content. Again, it will come to your if condition. It will check if not content, but content is available in the variable content. So again, it will return false. Once it will return false, again, it will go back from here to while loop and it is true again. So again, it will come to the next line, which is content equal to f dot read line. So under this, it is again going to read the line number 3 and it will save into your content. And after that, it will come to the if condition. Again, here it will be false because you have the content in the content variable. So again, after that, it will go back to your while loop and again, it will check for the 4 and 5th. Once 5th is done, then it will come your next, that will be line number 6. So f dot read line, it will reach to the line number 6 and it is going to return nothing. It will be nothing. It's empty. It's empty. So your content is empty. So after that, it will come to where it will come to your if condition. And over here, if not content and content is not available. So it is going to give you true. It is going to give the true. So after that, it will come to the next line and it will break this while loop. After breaking this, it will come to this f dot close and it will close the file. And after closing this, it will come to this over here. And at that time, your content having a nothing, empty, right? At that iteration, your content having a nothing and is empty. Because of that, you get nothing over here, but your type of the content is str. Perfect. So there are error in this code. So how to solve this? How to solve that? At every execution, I should get the content over here. So for that, you need to use this f.print over here. Over here. So as soon as the content is added to your content variable, it should print out that. After printing, it should again go to the if condition to check whether content is there or not. If not, then it will break that. So now let's try to execute this. Now you can see this. If you have a confusion, let me clear this. Now let's execute this. See, this is the first, second, third, and it is the execution is so fast that you got everything at the same time. But it is not, guide. You are getting everything at same time. Is reading one by one each line. I think it's making sense, right? Or if you want, you can just take this from here and just pass over here. So what it will do, it is going to first read the line and it will save the data into your variable content. And after that, it will check over here. When it is false, it will jump to the print. It will print over here and then it will go to the while loop. This is also fine. You can use over here also before the if and after the if also. All will work perfectly. See, let me clear this. So now execute this. So you have all this over here and your class is str. But you are a bit confused. Why? Because I said that this content is holding on a single time. Every iteration, it is going to add a new file and at the end it has an empty, because once the all the content has completed reading, then this content will have a nothing, right? So where it is holding, we are not holding this, right? So if you want to hold this, then create one list and add those files over here. Perfect. So now under the read operation, we have checked the read lines, read line and read. One more is there, I think, read somewhere here. Read. Read means you can read all the file at a time in str method. Method, yeah, it's a method only. And in read lines, you are going to read all the content from the given file in list method. And over here, read line means it's going to read one line at a time. For that, if you want to read the complete let's say data of your file, then use the while loop for that. And when the content is empty, break the loop. I hope it's making sense, right? Let's see the example number 8, right? What is the next example after 7? It is 7, right? Examples 8. Example 8. So in this, I want to combine my read and write operation both. How that is possible? So what I'll do that, we have one file at this path and I want to read the file from here and I want to create one file in my folder and paste those content into that. It's something like copy pasting. Okay, copy the content from this file test.txt and save over here example.txt under this file folder. So how we are going to do that? So for that, let's write the question actually. Copy content from source file and paste to a new file at new destination. So for that, first we need to read the file, and for reading that, what we are going to do, we are just take first file path. Okay, perfect. And let's comment out this. I want to comment out this. We have this file path, and then we'll have one source destination dst path. On the destination path, I will have, let's say, example.txt. Okay, now we'll write with open, and over here file path. So first we need to open the file path where we have the data in read mode as a f. So after that we are going to save the content into the content variable, and I want to read all the data at a time. So read. After this, what I'll do, I'll just use print function over here to show you that all the data is available in my variable or not. So I'll use the f string, and I use a data from source file, and over here I'll just pass this file, sorry, this content. Okay, perfect. Then I need to open one more file, that is my destination path, and I want to read those, sorry, I want to open into the right, because I want to copy all the content from my source file to the destination file. So first I have opened the source file under the read operation, and saved all the content into the content variable. After that, I'm opening one more file using the destination path under the write operation, and what I will do over here, f dot write, and for writing I want this content to be over here, and after that let's close this, f dot close. Making sense, guys, right? I'm using two with operation. Under one with operation, I am calling one file to read that, which is my source file, and I'm saving those content into the content variable, and then I'm printing over here to check that all the data are available in my content or not. So this print function will print all the data of the content variable into the console. Okay, and after that I am again using the with open with clause to open the destination path under the write operation, and I'm saving writing this content into that destination path. So now let's try to execute this part. So now let's execute this, and we have over here example.txt, and all the data are available over here. So it's making sense, right? So now let's see the next example, guys. Let's try to comment this, and then let's see the next example. Example number 9. Let's see, we had the example 8, this, right? Example 8. Now under the example 9, we will see binary read and write. Binary read and write. So we already have a read and write. Then why do we need the binary read and write? So binary read and write are used for non-text data or non-txt data. Txt data. So the question is that when to use your binary read and write. So binary read and write use for image, video, PDF. For this kind of data, we use the binary read and write. So now let's see that we'll try to read image data using binary read. Okay, so for that I need the file path of the image. So img file path. So what I'll do, I'll go to the download directory, and over here I have some image. So this is the one of the image. I will copy the path of this. So let's copy the path, and then over here let's keep this. what I'll do, just let me rename this first. So I'll just rename this to IMGTHUMB. Okay. And then now copy the path of this and come to the code and paste it again. Perfect. Use R over here. Now what I'll do, with open and this image file path comma RB. RB means read binary as a F. Perfect. Now IMG data equal to F dot read, and after that let's print it. After in print you will not see anything. It's going to show you some of the clumsy data which is we cannot read that. Okay, why this IM should be G. Now let's clear this first, and now let's try to execute this line of code. But before executing this, it's comment already, we have already commented that. That's fine. So now try to execute this. So this is the basically file which we cannot guys read it. We cannot image see this image over here in the console, because console is not to show the image. But this is how using this RB you can read the image. Next, what we can do, that we can write the image. So for that, what I'll do, that I will create one image path. This image which is available at the download folder, I want this to save into the current directory. So first we will read from this path, and then we'll write under this path, under this folder, as we have done for this. This is the basically same example or same code, but here we have done for the txt file, here we'll do for the image. Okay, so let's say test image img equal to, let's say img, there should be some image. Let's take this image, same name I'll take. Okay, our destination, let's say extension will say jpg. Jpg is also the extension of image, right? So now I'll copy this, and over here image file path, I'll take the dest image path, this dest image path, paste over here, and this should be the wb. Wb means write binary as a F, and then over here it should be F dot write, and just pass your image data over here. So what is happening over here, we have the image file path from the download directory, and under this code we are reading that file and saving those image into the image data, and using those image data over here to write again under this image path. This image is going to save into this current directory. Okay, so now let's execute this. It's very lengthy, so first let me clear this out. Clear? Okay, then I will going to comment it out, because we already know that it is going to give you the image data. After that, I'm going to print this over here, image saved to the direct text path, to the text path. Okay, perfect. Now let's try to execute this over here. Now python file operation.py, and it is done. If you'll see over here, you have the image over here. See, this is me, guys. The last break, continue, pass thumbnail it is, which I have already uploaded. Okay, so this is how you can read and write the binary file. Binary file is nothing but image, video, and PDF. Perfect. Now let's try to comment this, and let's say the next example. So the next example is example number 10, right? Example 10. I think so. Earlier was, I think, example 9. Let me see. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. All doing good over here. So what we'll see in the example 10, we already seen the write, read, read all, sorry, read lines, read line, correct? Read binary, write binary. We have already seen all those example. So in 10th example, what are going to see that? We will see how to read and write the JSON file. JSON is one of the file which is similar to the dictionary, and under the coding, whether it's C Sharp, Java, or let's say it's a Python, we use a lot. It's basically give the a dictionary based file which is easy to communicate between the client and server. So it is easy, and it is very much used under the whenever you write the full-fledged coding for any software. Okay, so in this example we will see that how to read and write the JSON file. So over here, read and write a JSON file. Okay, so first let's read write, sorry, not read, because we don't have a data to read for the JSON. So for write a JSON file, for that I need to import JSON. So what we are doing, that JSON is one of the, I would say, library, or we are calling this from the Python global library hub. Okay, you can consider like that. So we are calling into my this py file to execute all the operation related to the JSON. So this is one of the library we are calling. This is how we, whenever we want some other package to use in the code, this is how we call that. And this is important that the JSON must be installed in your environment. So we are using the base environment right now. If it is not installed over there, then it will give the error. So let's see that if we are giving error means we don't have. It means that first this calling all the method and all the, let's say, functionality of JSON, we need to import that from the local base environment. Right now my environment is base activated, so we need to call this JSON from this base environment. After that only we can do all the functionality of JSON. But if, let's say, in the base environment JSON is not available, then what will happen? It will give the error. In that case we need to install that. For installing we need to write pip install JSON. Pip is the package handler which is used to install the any packages from the Python global library to your environment. It's clear? So we'll see that if it is available. I think by default JSON is available whenever you install Python, and by default the JSON will be available. Okay, so now we need to write some of the content into the JSON file. So let's see that. So I have this dictionary. So I have this dictionary and I want to write this under the JSON file. So what I'll do over here, with open, and I need the file path over here, right? So for that I need the file path underscore JSON, and over here let's write over here test.json. Extension of JSON is always this JSON. Okay, then we'll take this comma w, and over here sorry, it's as f, we need to use over here JSON dot dump. Dump means we are dumping the data over here. After that we need to pass the file path. So this is the file path where you want to create your JSON file, and after that you need to pass the data as well over here. Okay, then let's print over here file created. Now let's execute this. Over here there is some issue, fp.write chunk 189. Maybe what is the error over here? The error is dictionary attribute object has no attribute right. Okay, file path we already given over here, so it should be, basically it should be f, not the file path, because we already opened that file using the with clause. So that open file need to pass under the json.dump. So let me execute this, then I will explain this if you are confused. Yeah, done guys. So what is happening? So I have one data in form of dictionary. Then I'm taking one file path test.json. This is going to create under your same folder test.json. Okay. Then I'm opening that file with open a file path JSON means this test.json is going to open over here in the write operation. We are going to open that as a F. This is an alias for this all. Okay. Now, what I'm doing over here for writing any JSON, you need to use the JSON dump. So JSON dot dump user data, which is this one, and then file. I'm this file, which is F. I'm passing over here, which is going to create or pass this data into your JSON file. If you see over here, see you have test.json and all the data are available, but it is in one line. But I don't want that. I want like a dictionary, whatever I have over here, right? So right now, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are there. So what I'll do, I'll pass over here index equal to 5. It's not an index, it's indent, INDENT, indent. So we have a 5 indent file created. Now if you see this, you have a file like a dictionary and all the key and value in one line. One line key and value, one line and one line. But if you don't pass this indent equal to 5, all the key and value will be under the one line. Let's see that. Now see this, all are in one line. Perfect. So now pass over here indent equal to true. Okay. If you pass indent equal to true and execute this, it is going to work. So instead of passing 1, 2, 3, just pass true and it will create a JSON file like a dictionary, one key, one value in one line. Perfect. So this is how you can write a JSON file. Next example is example number 11, right? Over here, read a JSON file. JSON file. So for that, I need the file path, and file path is already available over here, which is this one, right? Or let's copy this from here to here. I'll copy this, and instead of read, I want the write, and instead of dump, it should be load. Okay, it's a load, and then pass over here content equal to JSON.load user. It's not required user indent, all those, just load, I guess. And after that, let's take this content, print content, and if you want only keys, so print F only key of the content. For that, content dot keys. Let's print this and check the response of this. There is some issue, missing one positional argument. Okay, I should pass this F over here. File created, and you have this. Why this file created is here. So guys, there was no error actually. I did some mistake in the execution. Okay, so now let's try to execute again. So pass python file operation.py and execute this. So once you execute, under your content you have all the data, see, and under only key of the content you have a name, age, email, and is active and hobbies. These are the key, right? See over here. So this is how you can read and write the JSON file as well. This is one of the important file which we use often in the coding. That's why I want you to show this, how we can read and write a JSON file. So what I have done in the read, I have just used the file path and I open that into the read mode. Okay, after that, JSON.load and passing this alias F over here and saving all this into the content. That's all. So for reading, we use load, JSON.load, and for writing, we use JSON.dump. So this is all about this file operation, guys, and thank you so much for bearing with me. If you find this interesting and you have understood something out of this video, don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. I have observed that many people are watching the videos and few people are subscribing my channel. So this is very painful. Please subscribe so that I also get motivated. I'm not asking anything else from you, right? So let's see you in the next video. Thank you so much.